Hey everybody, it's your favorite Canadian info wrangler back again. One more week through the power of the interwebs. And look, I'm not blowing out your speakers. Isn't that impressive? So today is part 4 in our series of visiting churches around town. And I've barely gotten to the halfway point, so I think we might have 1 or 2 more videos out of this. Anyway, for now, I'm going to turn you over to Gary while we drive to the first church, and then I'll talk at you some more. Okay, and here we are at the Church of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross, even though you'll see in the pictures that it says on the building Church of the Holy Cross. But I guess the full name is Church of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross. The idea for the church stemmed from Reverend Shume, pastor of the Church of the Holy Transfiguration in the 50s, who recognized that the growing Ukrainian Catholic community in Fort William needed a new place of worship. On September 22, 1959, a fundraising campaign launched. So they purchased a 3.4-acre property on West Victoria Avenue. A second fundraising campaign in 64 was commissioned, architect was commissioned, construction began in the fall of 66, building was completed in 67, first liturgy in November of 67. As you can see, they've got some really nice artwork on the glass there. I'm not sure if it's actually stained glass or just artwork, but it is quite nice. So I had to make sure to get some pictures of that for you. And I could give you a whole history of it, but we don't want to go into that much, do we? So we'll cut it here and pass it back over to Gary. Okay, so two issues I've found. One is that I'm starting to get some echo in here now because I'm so far away from the microphone. So there's not a whole lot I can do about that because Linux just really seems to drive up the gain on this microphone. And the other thing I've noticed is that in this particular video editing suite, I don't seem to be able to fade the audio in and out on the music tracks like I did when I was still editing in Windows. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, this is the Salvation Army Church on West Victoria Avenue, or East Victoria Avenue actually. It's before Edward. I liked that little statue there, so I made sure to get a picture of that. There's not really a whole lot of history that I could find using ChatGPT, so I'm just going to tell you what I know about it, which isn't really a whole lot, but as you can see, the architecture is vastly different than most of the churches we see around town. And I worked there for, not there, I worked at the Booth Center on Cumberland Street for a few years, which is now a Journey to Life Center. so here we are at St. Dominic's Church on Redwood Avenue. Established in 1912 by Italian immigrants. So it has been in operation for 113 years. And as you can see, the building looks fairly newish. It's not, certainly not a 100-year-old building, but obviously it was refurbished several times over the years. I'm looking for any information on a fire or anything like that, but there isn't any, so it looks like they just remodeled it over the years. I'm not liking this business of not being able to fade my music in and out. I don't like the abruptness of it. So just know that I am working on figuring out how to get that working again in Linux as opposed to Windows. I just don't want to be in Windows anymore. very many pictures of this one, and not a whole lot to say about it. This is a congregation that moved around 6 or 7 times since 1937, and eventually purchased this plot of land on Balmoral and built this church here in, what was it here, 1979. So that's why the building looks fairly recent. It is. And I guess that's about all there is to say about the Evangel Church in Thunder Bay. And here we are at the last church for today. This is Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church, located at the corner of Beverly and Balmoral. Balmoral. Duh. Beverly and Balmoral. This is one of the nicer churches in the area, just because of the Orthodox style of construction with that dome there and everything on the tower and the cross on top of the dome. Souvlaki dinners on Thursday. Yeah, I liked this church. It made for some good pictures. I like that tower and the dome. It's nicer on the ones in the East End, but still pretty nice here as well. So that'll wrap it up for churches today, and I'll see you back at the house. Hey folks, here I am back at the house. I know I've got a loud echo. There's not much I can do about it because to keep from blasting your speakers out, I have to keep the microphone a foot away from my face, and then that brings in the echo. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe I'll try a different microphone next week or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, I'm going to be working on figuring out how to fade my music in and out so that it's not so abrupt. And, you know, all those fun things that happen when you decide you're not going to be a slave to an info data slave to Windows anymore. I don't want their spyware on my computer. So that's what the switch to Linux is all about. And it's not sudden. I've felt this way for years. It's just that Linux distros weren't quite up to snuff for an average user like myself. I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to work on the interior of Linux, so to speak. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to work on the guts. So it has to be point and click for me. And, you know, for so long, Linux hasn't been that user friendly. Now they are. And but you know, there's lots of theys when it comes to Linux. It's not one company like Microsoft. But yeah, I've found a desktop system that I really like, and it's been point and click out of the box so far, so everything seems good, except there's a few variances between the video editing software I'm used to and the video editing software I need to get used to. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here and hope that this recording doesn't blast your speakers out. This is like the 4th time I've tried recording this. So, on that note, God's willing, Daffy Duck willing, we'll see you all in the next video. Ciao for now.